Are we on? Hey, greetings in the matchless name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Shalom. I am reading today. Today is Saturday, Sunday. No, today is Friday. I'm sorry, and I'm reading from the book of Jasher in the Bible of the Sefer, and we're at chapter 32, and it reads as thus. And at that time, Jacob sent messengers to his brother Esau toward the land of Shinir, and he spoke to him words of supplication, and he commanded them, saying, This shall you say to Adoni Esau, to my Adoni, to Esau. Thus say your servant Jacob, let not my Adoni imagine that my father's blessing, which he did bless me, has proved beneficial to me. For I have been these 20 years with Laban, and he deceived me and changed my wages 10 times, and as it has all been already told unto my Adoni, and I served him in his house very laboriously. And Elohim afterwards saw my affliction and labored and the work of my hands, and he caused me to find grace and favor in his sight. And afterwards, through Elohim's great mercy and kindness, acquired oxen and asses and cattle and men servants and maid servants. And now I am coming to my land and my home to my father's mother, who are in the land of Canaan. And I have sent to let my Adoni know all this in order to find favor in the sight of my Adoni, so that he may not imagine that I have myself obtained wealth, or that the blessings with which my father blessed me has benefited with me. And those messengers went to Esau and found him on the borders of the land of Edom, going toward Jacob. And 400 men of the children of Sinir, the Chority, were standing with drawn swords. And the messengers of Jacob told Esau all the words that Jacob had spoken to them concerning Esau. And Esau answered them with pride and contempt, and said unto them, Surely I have heard, and truly it has been told unto me that Jacob has done what Jacob has done to Laban, who exalted him in his house and gave him his daughters for women, and he begot sons and daughters, and abundantly increased in wealth and riches in Laban's house through his means. And when he saw that his wealth was abundant and his riches great, he fled with all belonging to him from Laban's house, and he led Laban's daughters away from the face of their father as captives, taken by the sword without telling him of it. And not only to Laban has Jacob done thus, but also unto me has he done so, and has twice supplanted me. And shall I be silent? Now therefore I have this day come with my camps to meet him, and I will do unto him according to the desire of my heart. And the messengers returned and came to Jacob and said to him, We come to your brother, to Esau, and we told him all your words, and thus has an answer. And behold, he comes to meet you with 400 men. Now then, know and see what you shall do, and pray before Elohim to deliver you from him. And when he heard the words of his brother, which he had spoken to the messengers of Jacob, Jacob was greatly afraid, and he was distressed. And Jacob prayed to Yeshua Eloheinu, and he said, O Yahuwah Elohim, my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, you did say unto me when I went away from my father's house, saying, I am Yahuwah Elohim of your father Abraham and Elohim of Isaac. Unto you do I give this land and your seed after you, and I will make your seed as the stars of heaven, and you shall spread forth to the side to the sides of heaven, and in you and your seed shall all families of the earth be blessed. And you did establish your words, and did give unto me riches and children and cattle. As the uttermost wishes of my heart did you give unto your servant. You did give unto me all that I asked from you, so that I lack nothing. And you did afterwards say unto me, return to your parents and to your birthplace, and I will still do well with you. And now that I have come and you delivered me from Laban, I shall fall in the hands of Esau, who will slay me. Yeah, together with the mothers of my children. Now therefore, O Yahuwah Elohim, deliver me, I pray you. And also, for I am greatly afraid of him. And if there is no righteousness in me, do it for the sake of Abraham and my father Ishmael, Isaac. No, I'm sorry, Isaac. For I know that through kindness and mercy have I acquired this wealth. Now therefore I beseech you to deliver me this day with your kindness and to answer me. And Jacob ceased praying to Yahuwah. And he divided the people that were with him with the flocks and cattle into two camps. And he gave the half to the care of Demasek, the son of Elazar, Abraham's servant, for a camp with his children. And the other half he gave to the care of his brother Elianik, the son of Elazar, to be for a camp with his children. And he commanded them, saying, keep yourselves at a distance with your camps, and do not come too near each other. And if Esau come to one camp and slay it, the other camp at a distance from it will escape. And Jacob tarried there that night, and during the whole night he gave his servants instructions concerning the forces and his children. And Yahuwah heard the prayer of Jacob on that day. And Yahuwah then delivered Jacob from the hands of his brother Esau. And Yahuwah sent three angels of heaven, and they went before Esau and came to him. And these angels appeared unto Esau and his people as 2,000 men, riding upon horses, furnished with all sorts of war instruments. And they appeared in the sight of Esau and all his men to be divided into four camps, with four chiefs. Found found Esau coming with 400 men toward his brother Jacob. And this camp ran toward Esau and his people and terrified them. And Esau fell off the horse in alarm, and all his men separated from him in that place, for they were greatly afraid. And the whole camp of and the whole of the camp shouted after them when they fled from Esau. And all the warlike men answered, saying, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servants of Elohim. Who then can stand against us? And Esau said unto them, oh, then my Adoni and brother Jacob is your Adoni, when I have not seen for these 20 years, and now that I have this day come to see him, do you treat me in this manner? And the angels answered him, saying, as you, Yahuwah lives, were not Jacob, of whom you speak, your brother, we had not let one remaining from you and your people, but only on account of Jacob we will do nothing to them. And this camp passed from Esau and his men, and it went away. And Esau and his men had gone from them about a league when the second camp came toward him with Esau and his men, as the first camp had done to them. And when they had left it on to go on, behold, the third camp came toward him, and they were all terrified. And Esau fell off the horse, and the whole camp cried out and said, surely we are the servants of Jacob, who is the servants of Elohim, and who can stand against us? And Esau again answered them, saying, oh, then Jacob, my Adoni, and your Adoni is my brother. and for 20 years I have not seen his countenance. And hearing this day that he was coming, I went this day to meet him and to do you treat me in this manner? And they answered him and said unto him, As Yahuwah lived, were not Jacob your brother, as you did say? We had not left a remnant from you and your men, but on account of Jacob, of whom you speak, being your brother, we will not meddle with you or your men. And the third camp also passed from him, and he still continued his road with his men toward Jacob. When the fourth camp came toward him, and they also did unto him and his men as the others had done. And when Esau held the evil which the four angels had done to him and to his men, he came greatly afraid of his brother Esau. And he went to meet him in the peace. And Esau concealed his hatred against Jacob because he was afraid of his life on account of his brother Jacob, and because he imagined that the four camps that he had lighted upon were Jacob's servants. And Jacob tarried that night with his servants in the camp. And he resolved with his servants to give unto Esau a present from all that he had with him, and from all his property. And Jacob rose up in the morning, and his men, and they chose from among the cattle a present for Esau. And this is the amount of the present which Jacob chose from his flock to give unto his brother Esau. And he selected 240 head from the flocks, and he selected the camels and asses, 30 each. And of the herds he chose 50 kine, and he put them all in 10 droves, and he placed each sort by itself, and he delivered them into the hands of 10 of his servants, each drove by itself, and he commanded them, and said unto them, Keep yourselves at a distance from each other, and put a space between the droves. And when Esau and those that are with him shall meet you, and ask you, saying, Who are you, and whither do you go? And to whom belong all this before you? You shall say unto them, We are the servants of Jacob, and we come to meet Esau in peace. And behold, Jacob comes behind us, and that which is before us is present, sent from Jacob to his brother Esau. And they saw, and they shall say unto you, Why does he delay behind you from coming to meet his brother and to see his face? Then you shall say unto him, Surely he comes joyfully behind us to meet his brother. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goes to him. And after this, I will see his face. Perchance he will accept of me. So the whole present, based on pray, passed on in the hands of his servant, and went before him on that day. And he lodged that night with his camp by the borders of the brook of Yabag. And he rose up in the midst of the night, and he took his women and his men servants and all belonging to him, that he that night through passed them over the ford Yabag. Verse 48. And when he passed all the belongings to him over the brook, Jacob was left by himself, and a man met him, and he wrestled with him that night until the breaking of the day. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint through wrestling and with him. And at the break of day, the man left Jacob there and blessed him and went away. And Jacob passed the brook at the break of day, and he halted upon his thigh. And the sun rose upon him when he had passed the brook. And he came up to the place of cattle and children. And they went on till midday. And when they were going, the presence was passing on before them. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, Esau was at a distance, coming along with many men, about 400. And Jacob was greatly afraid of his brother. And Jacob hastened and divided his children unto his women, and his handmaid and his daughters. Dinah he put in a chest, and delivered her unto the hands of his servants. And he passed before his children and women to meet his brother. And he bowed down to the ground. Yeah, he bowed down 7 times until he approached his brother. And Elohim caused Jacob to find grace and favor in the sight of Esau and his men. For Elohim had heard the prayer of Jacob. And the fear of Jacob and his terror fell upon his brother Esau, for Esau was greatly afraid of Jacob for what the angels of Elohim had done to Esau, and Esau's anger against his brother was turned into kindness. And when Esau saw Jacob running toward him, he also ran toward him, and he embraced him, and he fell upon his neck, and they kissed and they wept. And Elohim put fear and kindness toward Jacob in the hearts of men that came with Esau, and they also kissed. Jacob embraced him, and also Eliphaz, the son of Esau, and with his 4 brothers, son of Esau, wept with Jacob, and kissed him, and embraced him, for the fear of Jacob had fallen upon them. And Esau lifted up his eyes and saw the women with their offspring, the children of Jacob, walking behind Jacob, and bowing along the road to Esau. And said unto Jacob, who are these with you, my brethren? And are they your children or your servants? And Jacob answered Esau and said, these are my children, what Elohim has graciously given to your servant. And while Jacob was speaking to Esau and his men, Esau beheld the whole camp. And he said unto Jacob, whence did you get the whole of the camp that I met you yesternight? And Jacob said, to find favor in the sight of my Adonai, it is that which Elohim graciously gave to your servant. And the present came before Esau, and Jacob pressed Esau, saying, take, I pray you, the present that I have brought to my Adonai. And Esau said, wherefore is this my purpose? Keep that which you have unto yourself. And Jacob said, it is incumbent upon me to give all this, since I have seen your face, that you still live in peace. And Esau refused to take the present. And Jacob said unto him, I beseech you, my Adonai, if now I have found favor in your sight, right and in your sight, then receive my present at my hand. For I have therefore seen your face, and as though I have seen an Elohim face, because you were pleased with me. Esau took the present, and Jacob also gave unto Esau silver and gold and bdellium, for he pressed him so much that he took them. And Esau divided the cattle that were in the camp, and gave half to the men who had come with him, for they had come on hire, and the other half he delivered unto the hands of his children. And the silver and gold and bdellium he gave in the hands of Eliphaz, his older son. And Esau said unto Jacob, let us remain with you. We will go slowly along with you until you come to my place with me, that we may dwell there together. And Jacob answered his brother, and I will do as my Adonai speaks unto me. But my Adonai knows that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with their young who are with me. But go slowly, for if they went swiftly, they would all die. For you know their burdens and their fatigue. Excuse me. Therefore, let my Adonai pass on before his servant, and I will go on slowly for the sake of the children and the flock until I come to my Adonai's place to Seir. And Esau said unto Jacob, I will place with you some of the people that you are with me to take care of you in the road and to bear your fatigue and burdens. And he said, what needs it? What needs it, my Adonai, if I may find grace in your sight? Behold, I will come unto you to Seir, and dwell there together as you have spoken. Go you then with your people, for I will follow you. And Jacob said this to Esau in order to remove Esau and his men from him, so that Jacob might afterwards go to his father's house to the land of Canaan. And Esau hearkened to the voice of Jacob. And Esau returned with the 400 men that were with him, and on the road to Seir. And Jacob and all belonging to him went that day as far as the extremity of the land of Canaan, and its borders, and he remained there some time. Chapter 33, and I'm going to stop right here at chapter 33 this day.
Sister Janice,
Yes.
I like that they went into the pineal gland and the chakras with Jacob, and it said that he wrestled with a man. Now, do anybody want to take a stab at what that man was and why did he have to leave before daylight?
Oh, it was an angel for sure, or God. God, it was God Himself. Just like when the three came to Abraham to Sodom and Gomorrah, I believe.
Yeah, I like how they said three angels projected as 400,000 men or something like that
Yes.
to Esau. Now, we got Project Bluebeam that can do the same thing. Funny.
Right. Because
So,
people started saying that Jacob wrestled with God. So he saw God's face as a man.
so the ox is Gabriel. The eagle is Raphael. Actually, excuse me, Uriel. The uh, the appearance of the man is Michael, and the Leo, or y'all say lion, but I don't like lion. So the Leo of the tribe of Judah would be Raphael. That's the four heads upon the seven ophanims, or you say archangels, or ruach
Yeah.
angel.
The seraphims and
So that's a
yes.
total of 28 faces upon seven bodies. That repetitiously, where they don't have to turn their head or anything. So he wrestled with only one of them, and it said the appearance of a man, which is Michael, the double-edged sword that stands up, is why he had to go before daylight come, because the Lord gonna come like a thief in the night. Yes, angels is
Yes.
how God serve man. Back to you, Sister Janice.
Yeah, I like when the angels appeared to Esau in the four corners of where he had set up his strategy camp to take down his brother because he still had um, revenge in his heart. But then the angel of the Lord, through Yeshua HaMashiach, they had to soften his heart and and embrace him. And this is why his mother told him to speak kindly to Esau when you see him. Wow. But he answered Jacob's prayer. Yes.
Because, oh yeah, go ahead.
Told Rebecca told her son Jacob to speak kindly to him when you see him. And this is what these are life lessons that you know, because when we're all boast up and build up with anger, we can't see. It blinds us, makes us ignorant, and we need God. Say a prayer, call out the name, and ask them to help you because everything is not what it seems. First of all, Esau got the message real bad when they came to him and said he did all these things and then he left. So the story gets twisted as it goes down the road and people explains things differently, their version of it. And it's not always, everything is not always what it seems.
I like to for everybody to understand the translation of the word or the gospels or whatever, the Bible. When it say the appearance of a man, that's like saying a hybrid, a half man, half something else. It could have been an animal, still creature, could have been a fish, dagon. We don't know unless guided by the Holy Spirit what that actually means. It means he had some body parts of a man and some body parts he didn't. So what was he wrestling? Because we ain't no different in the end than what was in the beginning. And we are in the end. And so with our life experiences of what we going outside with our personal life and testimony, observation of the breath of God, what are you seeing? Now I know that Jacob means salvation. Joshua, salvation. Isaiah, you say Isaiah, salvation. One in English, one is in Aramaic, one is in Greek, one is Kemet, whitewash, called Egypt. Africa is also another Egypt, Greek way. It's called Sumer, Sumeria, land of the Chaldees, period, the Canaanites. And so all these different names of man putting his, just like what she said, little spice on it. It's just like when Jethro told Moses he ain't supposed to be sitting up there. He need other people. If God wanted other people, it would have said the Spirit of the Lord told Moses and the word of the Lord. It didn't say that. But out of a kindness gesture, because Jethro really meant that out of love, the Most High allowed that to happen. But God, Moses was fine judging them people all day. That was his job. Ain't nobody tell you to come bring your scraggly mouth to come over here and talk about you need more time with your daughter, which is his wife. Ain't nobody caring about that. So now that the Holy Spirit is in me, I read things now and I be like, that don't make no John Brown sense. So if it didn't come out the spirit mouth, what does our translation say? If the Holy Spirit didn't move you to do it, don't do it. You don't study. You don't try to come up with some magical miracle. All right, just be yourself every day in the Lord. And the closer you get with him, the more things that you're going to leave behind. And you're going to find out how easy it is to be with the Lord. If he say a baby can do it, babies don't know how to read. They don't know language. All they know is how to be. That's it. I'm happy. I'm hungry, whatever. And they run in the household and they can't even vocabularize to us when they hungry. We know the vibration by tear or why or something. Oh, you need changing or something. Now we all run around want to talk about God with vocabulary. Oh, you got to say this. And no good in John Brown, well, nature ain't even that, which is the spirit. So I'm
And it
glad.
doesn't matter how you say it or what you're saying. Usually, with everything being twisted and turned. But I find that, and I'm gonna get off, that we need to be still. Why is they people want us to be so busy and occupy our minds? Because I find when you are still, and I know it was less people back then and less to do, and you meditate more. But see, as time got on, we made it harder for ourselves. But it is time to stop, meditate on the word. Meditate. He said to meditate on this word day and night. He gave that to Joshua. So I find today is very hard to do that. And if you can give God 30 minutes to an hour of your time, because Jesus said, couldn't you not pray for an hour? We and it doesn't have to be every day, but you have to communicate and allow God. But the more you hear from God, the more you want to be by Him. But yes, if you meditate on this word day and night, and and be still, you will have a lot of answers to a lot of questions and peace in your heart. So I'm on that note, I'm gonna leave until next time, maybe tomorrow.
Until next time, you are with a holy spark with Eldress Janice Clark. Happy Feast of Tabernacles, y'all. Enjoy the greatest feast days to the Most High Messiah. Shalom.
Shalom.